Hello, my name is Leroy Blevins. Welcome to Mysteries and Histories. In this episode here, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the bullet casings and fingerprints in the JFK assassination and a sniper's nest. When I got images of the bullet casings and stuff like that, and I started viewing over them, and started going over other evidence and everything else like that, first thing I had to do was place everything back in its location. And the reason why I place everything back in location, so I get more of an understanding where they found certain things and certain objects and certain prints here, and everything else, and get more understanding of where these bullet cases were found and everything else. Let me show you something. When I was viewing over these bullet casings, here's the bottom of it. As we see, 6.5 mm is the bullet casings. That's on the bottom of them. Okay, which a lot of researchers won't show you this stuff, but I will. Now, when I was viewing over these bullet casings, and I was looking at the numbers on these bullet casings, I was like, wait a minute, these are numbered wrong over here. As you see, 543, 544, and 545. But when we're starting to look at this and we start piecing it together, how the bullets are and how they look and stuff, come to find out that this bullet here that they have marked at 544 is actually 545. And the bullet they have marked 544 is actually 545. Now this bullet here, 543, yeah, that's 543. That's the right bullet. But these two bullets were switched around and they marked them wrong. So I had to write this down. See, people don't understand. When I do investigation, I have to write this down because I have to have an understanding on where these bullets was found, whose possession these bullets was under, and everything else. So when I do my investigation, I do my research, I know who to put into that investigation and who to eliminate from that investigation. Then I sit down and look over the images here, which you see right here. Like I said, doing colorized images is a lot better. We can see one bullet casing here, one bullet casing here, and then we have one up here. Now, to make sure that these are the bullet casings that was found in the Texas School Book Depository, I line them up, and as you see here, they're identical bullets. So we know that these bullet casings that they have right here are the ones here, but we know they mislabeled two of them. So I go ahead and I place these bullets back in the locations of where they was found. And the reason why I did this because I wanted to know where this bullet here, this bullet here has Oswald's right thumbprint on it. So I had to know exactly where they found them bullet casings. And as you see right here, okay, shell number 544 was found here, which I better shrink this because I know I'm over here. This is bullet casing 544 where they found here because I had to relabel them now. And this is 545 right here. They found right here in this location here. And 543 was found over here. So now I got more information. Now, Oswald's thumbprint is on the bullet casings as you see right here. This is one of the bullet casings, has Oswald's thumbprint on it. As you see right here, I overlay this on the bullet casing to show and Oswald's thumbprint to show the outline of the fingerprint, which we see right here, which I'm going to show you right here. As I pointed out, I made a video on this. As you see, we overlaid the Oswald's fingerprint over the bullet casing. As you see right here, we're going to stop right here. See how all this is lining up with the print on the bullet? All of this right here is lining up with Oswald's thumbprint. You see? So we know for a fact that that's Oswald's right thumbprint because this is the print right here. I got this is Oswald's fingerprint card from 11/23/1963. It's this thumbprint right here, which is his right hand, his right thumbprint right here. That's the one we see on the bullet casings. Now, after I did this, I went ahead and, like I said, placed everything back. So I went one step at a time. Oswald's palm print was found here. His right palm print was found here. And that bag right here that he carried a rifle in was found right here. Like I said, I put everything back. I put the bullet casings back into their locations And then we have Oswald's right index finger found right here, which I'll zoom in. I'll have to raise this up. Maybe. Oh, well, let me zoom in. But anyway, we're going to go over here, and I'll show you this. All right, we have Oswald's right index finger print found right here. We have Oswald's left palm print found over here. We have Oswald's right palm print found right here, and a paper bag here. Again, when we look at this, okay, this will be Oswald's left side, and this will be Oswald's right side. Right palm print here, right fingerprint here. Left palm print on this side because it's on his left side, and the bag right over here on Oswald's left. So you see, this is another thing I want to pull up too. The reason why they didn't take these objects into the morgue to place Oswald's prints on it, because if they did, you know, when you take boxes in there and everything else to put prints on it, and as you see, they're heavy boxes because they're full containers. They're not just empty boxes or hollow boxes. They would have to figure out, well, how we're going to do this. You know, we got to put Oswald's fingerprint here and his palm print here and a palm print here, and we got to make sure that all this stuff lines up. Okay, they don't have time for that. They don't have time to make sure everything's lining up the way they need it to be when they did their investigation, or when, you know, when it was taking the stuff away from there. They needed to know everything right then and there, because his palm prints was actually found there, and his fingerprints and everything was found there in the Texas School Book Depository. But again, researchers not going to give this information out, and it was found on that Friday of the assassination. They found his palm print here, right palm print here, right index fingerprint right here, and Oswald's left palm print on this side. So see, everything lines up. This is on the right side, this is on Oswald's left side. So see, it all lines up. So nothing could have been placed there. Then I go ahead and I say, well, okay, now we got the bigger view, which I'll do this right here. We have the bigger view now. Now we know the bag was found here. We got Oswald's right palm print here, right index finger here, left palm print over here. Then we have the two bullet casings right here with Oswald's right thumbprint on it, which again was on his right side when he was firing his rifle, because he's a right-handed shooter. Okay, so he's firing this way. The bullet's going to be flying off that way as well. So see, everything corresponds with everything. Just like when we look at the car counter rifle is set for a left-handed shooter. Oswald's a right-handed shooter. Okay, I just wanted to bring up some of this information here to give you something to think about. Just like this right here, we have the fingerprint right here, as you see right here. This is the fingerprint, and it also lines up with Oswald's right thumbprint. That's the other bullet casing that has Oswald's thumbprint on it. This is the one that has the deeper imprint on it right here. The other one has the imprint of has his fingerprint on there, but it's not as deep as the one we see in the other one, because you can see right here, this is all lined up right here. That's this right here. Okay. I just want to make this video here. I know it's not going to be a long one, to go a little bit more in detail on the bullet casings and show people, you know, some of this information that a lot of people will not go over. But what I did when I investigate the bullet casings itself and that sniper's nest there, okay, putting everything back, it gives me more perspective of willing away the false stories and knowing a true story. Plus gives me more information on how everything occurred in that sniper's nest, because when you sit there and you look at something like this, okay, this can tell us a story. And here's a story it can tell us. With Oswald's right index finger being on this side of the box and his left palm prints on this side of the box, shows us that he placed his hand on this side, his left hand on this side of the box, took his right index finger, pushed it on the side, because it was found right here on this side, not on top, but on the side, pushed his right index finger, which is right index finger, and his left palm print placed here, and then pushed that box over just a little bit to just a box. His hand palm print being right here, remember he was over this way. He takes the rifle out, puts his palm print, right palm print now, on the side of that box there, adjusts himself over. So see, now with the prints being back in their location, we get the story of what actually was taking place there. So we have right here, now we have Oswald placing the rifle together. Both his feet's over here. Then after he gets done putting the rifle together and stuff, he puts his right palm print right here. pushes down because you can see there's an impression right here. Because see how that box is pressed down a little bit? He's got the impression where he put his weight on it. He adjusts himself over. And he places the rifle right beside of him, places his left palm print here, takes his right index finger, pushes that box over just a little bit on this side, just to push it over that way, so you get a proper aim out that window. So you see, when you put evidence back in its location, you get a better story, you get a better understanding. You understand a lot more. Okay, just like right here, as I said, you know, see the impression in the box right here? This is where his palm print was found right here. You see the impression in the box where he put his weight. You can see he put weight on his right arm as he was pushing down, as he was adjusting over, and you can actually see there was somebody sitting right here. So you see, when you put things back in this place, you get a better perspective of the location and exactly what took place and what was going on in that location. That's why when I did my investigation, I had to put everything back in its place so I get more of an understanding of the surroundings and what was going on during that time of the assassination. But then again, like I said, other researchers don't go into this much depth or in this much detail, because to everybody else, they show an image, that's it, here you go, that's our evidence. But what's the story with it? Where did that shot came from? Where did this come from? How do you come to conclusions of this? How do you come to conclusions of that? Okay, you have to do this before you can present any kind of evidence. You have to figure out and find the truth before you can present any kind of evidence. This is what I've always done. Before I presented evidence, I had to make sure. I had to go over it time and time again, place everything back in its location, everything else, so I can get that story. So I can get them answers for the people, because that's what people's going to do. They're going to ask questions. So I try to answer questions before they even occurred. That's what I do here. But I just want to make this video here, give a little bit more information on the bullet casings and Oswald's fingerprints. Don't forget that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to tell your friends about us. Always in the description down below. You'll find a site where you can order my book, Evidence of Conspiracy, the only book you ever need in JFK assassination. Please, please have a pleasant, pleasant day.